What's up YouTube, Mr. Lime SC here, and today I just want to do a little bit of an economic update. Let's just do a quick check-in on rune prices, kind of where they're at in relation to each other, and where they've kind of shifted. So basically, if you remember back earlier on, probably about a month ago or so, I released a video where I did, or a 4-piece video where I went through like all the items and all those things, and obviously those have also changed a little bit in price. We're not going to dive all into that right now, but I did want to go ahead and dive into the runes and kind of talk about some of the rune changes from those values then. So I've taken those values, I've taken kind of the current values, and I'm going to show a little bit of the changes of where they have gone. So this is my sheet right here, and here you can see this is runes, and I've got it set up for everything. Basically, I'm working on some stuff to maybe like have all the things that you would want and care about, right? So it's like boots, and it's like, here's the prices of those, and here's the boots that you actually should care about, and then I'm going to have the values on all that stuff. That's something that we're kind of working and looking at. But right now, we do have the rune set up, and this is where we're at. So here is the value, and I can zoom in just a little bit. Maybe. Probably not. No zoom unless there's a zoom feature in Excel. I don't know. But here are the values right here. Yeah, Control Plus isn't doing it. I thought it would. We can just make the font bigger. I guess that works. We just need to go like that. Okay, there we go. How about that? So here we can kind of see the values. And right now, something that's actually interesting to note is you're seeing anytime there's this plus, this means the price has gone up. The green means it's gone up. The red means that it has gone down. So what's actually interesting is the prices of almost every high rune have gone up. Now, this is basing it off of Ohm rune because I like to use Ohm rune as one high rune. However, if you're to base it off the random arbitrary value of what is a high rune, which isn't technically dealing with an Ohm rune, blah, 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 and all that stuff, then maybe we get a little bit different. But I am saying Ohm rune is my standard here. Additionally, some people, like I've said before, like to use Ist rune as their standard. And of course, if you base it off Ist rune, then it's going to be slightly different values for all of this stuff. But I'm using the Ohm rune as that high rune. So, yeah, Ohm rune has gotten a little bit cheaper, you could say, right? Like I say, I leave it at the 1-1. But what we can see is Sur rune has gone up a little in value and Low rune has gone up. And these two actually are back to about the same value. They actually had some kind of shifting where Sur rune was worth more than a Low rune. And then Low rune was worth more than a Sur rune. And now it seems like they're about back to equal, honestly. Ja rune, pretty similar there. Once again, you could say the Ohm rune just got a little bit cheaper, which is why the price of the Ja rune went up some. Bur rune actually went up a lot in value. This is actually the biggest jump of anything. So Bur runes are actually even more expensive now than before compared to everything else, because a lot of the other runes kind of started to drop more in their value, but Bur rune did not drop near as much. Everybody just needs a Bur, so we can see that. Zod has actually made some decent gains and kind of put itself ahead of a Vex rune, which is very interesting because remember for a while there, Zods were Vex rune, right? Cham was Gold, Zod was Vex. But we're finally starting to get that difference where Zod has gone up a little bit more. Still not worth like an Ohm rune or anything, but it has gone up a bit more than the Vex rune there. And consequently, Cham runes, half the value of the Zod, have also gone up a little bit as well. So we've actually seen both of these increase. And then, like I said, when we're taking a look at all of these, Goals, Ist, Mals dropped off some, ums and poles dropped off some. And when you're talking about 0.04 to 0.03, I mean, that's a pretty significant drop off, right? Even though it's only 0.01. So maybe I should have like a percent change honestly, over here. That'd probably be something that would be good to have. Lem runes halved in value, actually right there. And when we kind of compare it across, once again, this is that comparison up to the ohm still. And Foul runes also really dropped half their value also. So these low runes here really have dropped more and more in value. I'm assuming it's because, one, people are just finding them a lot more. So people have kind of got what they need from all of these. And then, so it's probably just from that right there, right? People have just found so many, you just kind of have them and you just kind of throw them around, and it's just, you don't need a lot of the stuff. But, and probably the same with some of these other ones. Like we could see, Mal tanked off a little bit, 20% drop there. Is tanked off a little bit. Goal, a little bit there. So, yeah, really a lot of these kind of have dropped a little bit in their value there. High runes going up in value. Now, what are my thoughts going forward? I would say I expect Burr to honestly probably keep its price. I'm very surprised that Burr is so much above Jaw now. It really felt like Jaw and Burr were going to kind of start to get back to close as people got their infinities and it wasn't such a crazy need for their burrs, and people started going more ham on, all right, well, now I'm going to get more faiths and things like that. But I don't know. So I do expect Jaw personally to like close the gap a little bit on Burr. I just feel like that is going to happen some. Burr being at 4 high rune right now is pretty high. I thought 3.5 was more in line with what I would have expected. So we'll see there. I do think low runes are going to hold more value. So I mean, like I say, I think Burr and Sir are probably going to lose a little value over time. And I think low rune would be, in my opinion, worth more than a Sir rune. Just because there's still going to be a lot of people that want you're always needing that Eth fortitude. That grief is just such a big drop and such a big need. There's a lot of lows that do get used and a lot of value from it. Additionally, it can be good to sometimes throw in those rare weapons, whatever stuff. So I see that having a little more value. I feel like Sir being at 2 and Burr at 4 is really crazy, but Burrs are just Burrs. Ohm Rune is probably gonna, and this is why it's hard to always say like Ohm Rune is high rune, because at this point Ohm Rune could be like 0.8 or 0.9 high runes, and so then you're gonna have a little bit of shifts and differences in how everything gets valued, right? But yeah, Burrs are 4 ohms right now. That is the price for sure. Low can never be worth more than 2 ohms, though. I mean, that just would keep the value of the ohm up a little bit, right? So I guess that's kind of it, right? I expect ohm to kind of lose its value as a rune and more have the value as just like half of a low. Ohm Vex equals low? Nah, not right now, man. Not right now. This is the current state of it. Zod rune, I honestly expect Zod to... I mean, it really took a big jump there over Vex, but maybe a lot of people are having fun with a lot of like e-botted and stuff. Maybe they're just Zodding, all their Eth rib crackers and things like that with the IAS changes. Some Eth weapons are maybe gaining a little bit more value in some capacity. People are playing those builds a little more. So I could see Zod runes holding a little bit more there, right? I could see them going up to 0.75 or even a little higher, honestly. So, yeah, we'll see that. And Vex, Vex will probably still kind of hang around. It's always useful. It's usually always pretty settled in at 0.5. So that really doesn't change too much. These prices don't make sense. These prices are based off of Llama's observations of everything. Like, I've literally gone and looked through pricing from 3 to 4 different sites and found the values of what people are trading stuff, and that's exactly where these prices are. So this isn't me like just being like, I think it's worth 4 right now. This is me being like, I'm seeing people trading 4 ohms or 4 ohms worth of value for Burr Rune. That's literally what it is. So anyways, yeah. And then I think Ist runes should make a comeback, honestly. I feel like Ist runes definitely should be worth a little bit more than that, and obviously the Mal is half the Ist, and then Umpole, maybe these guys will probably keep dropping a little bit more, I would say, in my opinion. But Ist runes usually have just a lot of good value on them, so I think they could get up to like 0.2 again or something like that. Yeah, I guess goal is 0.25 only because of Vex. I mean, what I was seeing is people trading golds for less, but you are correct in that it should be 0.25 because it's half of Vex. So you're right. Cool. So yeah, this is the current economy price values on November 26th. Things change around, but this is my observations of the prices and where they are in relation to that Ohm rune. Once again, like I've said before, you can always say, well, the Ohm rune is a little bit, it's dropped some in its value. It's only 0.9, 0.8, and then you still have your own changes and stuff. But regardless, you can still at least get some sense of where stuff is, how it's moving, where it was before. Really big gainers like Zod and Burr really kind of tanking up, going up some there in their value. So either way, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace, everybody.